Dumb. Cool.
Weird.
Podcast. Welcome, folks. So now we're doing another Christmas episode. And now we're doing Home Alone.
Yep.
A classic, very classic movie from 1990 with Macaulay Culkin and Tony Soprano's little bitch.
Yeah, his dad, Mr. McCallister, is the police guy who works for Tony Soprano.
Yep.
And gets whipped with a belt.
Yep. And then we have Harry and Marv, who is, Joe Pesci, and then the other guy. I should know that guy's name. But I can't think of it off the top of my head. But he's a pretty famous actor too. The mom's a pretty famous actor. One of the brothers, the guy with the red hair, the younger one than Buzz. He was actually from Pete and Pete, The Adventures of Pete and Pete, which was like a Nickelodeon show. But yeah, and then the little brother, the little cousin, Fuller, I think was his name, the kid that pisses the bed.
Yep,
that's actually Macaulay Culkin's brother in real life, Kieran.
I wonder if he actually pissed the bed.
That would be kind of funny. But yes, so Home Alone.
Yeah,
Home Alone is a classic fucking movie. By the way, it also has
John Candy
in it. He makes a big cameo later on in the movie. But yeah, so Home Alone, it's a really great movie written by
Howard Hughes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm thinking of some
John Hughes.
Wait, Howard Hughes was the porn guy, right?
I think so.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, same guy that did Trains, Planes, Automobiles, 16 Candles, Breakfast Club, you name it. A lot of movies from that time period. But yeah, so basically it's a movie about a kid who gets left behind by his family.
They suck.
And
you know what though? That kid really they should have paid more attention because the neighbor kid really fucking sucks.
Yes, the neighbor kid was one of the reasons why they got fucked up to begin with. But basically, we start off in the movie with them at the house. It's nighttime. They're packing, getting ready for the trip to France. Joe Pesci, the man, he's dressed up like a cop. He's asking questions. Which, by the way, me and Nick we never realized that was Joe Pesci when we were kids for whatever reason.
Yeah, it didn't connect for some reason until we were adults. And it's really funny. These people just let a cop into their house. No badge, nothing. Just
yep.
Guy didn't even have a gun on him.
Yep. It's one of those weird things. And he's just standing there trying to find an adult to talk to. But basically, Kevin's running around causing a little bit of mischief. He's a little bit of a menace.
Well, you know what? He wasn't doing that bad.
Well,
when you look at the film now, you look at the fact that all these kids are running around being worse.
Well, they're ripping on him. His brothers and sisters are ripping on him. The mom and the dad don't have time for him, and Kevin's trying to figure out how to pack his bag because he doesn't know how to do it. And he's asking for help. The fucking dad's brother is a piece of shit.
Uncle Frank.
Yeah, he's
I love how he grabs all the pizzas and he's like, this is my brother's house.
Yep,
total shitbag the whole movie.
Yep, he's a fucking bum and.
Stealing everything.
Yeah, everything. And then, so, basically, we get to the dinner scene, and Buzz is, mocking Kevin, because Kevin wanted cheese pizza, and he's eating his fucking pizza. He gets pissed off, and he just tackles Buzz, knocks the milk over. Which, who the fuck drinks milk with pizza, dude?
Because the mom was a shitty mom, alright?
Yeah, and then they knock over the Pepsi. The Pepsi pours everywhere.
Yeah, onto the passports.
Yep.
Why are your passports out there? Why are they doing that?
Stupid. Then the whole family blames Kevin, and then Uncle Frank's like, "Look what you did, you little jerk." It's like, you're the fucking jerk, Uncle Frank.
You've been mooching off of a whole family ass vacation.
Yeah.
You fucking poor.
Yep. And so the mom forces Kevin to go up to the fucking attic to sleep, which is kind of fucked up because there's probably no heat up there.
The attic bed did look kind of comfortable.
Honestly, looking back on it, I probably would have either wanted to live in the basement or the attic myself, because those are cool. Those are the sweetest spots. But yeah, so anyway, basically he sleeps upstairs. The power goes out because of a tree.
Yep.
And then they're late for this American airline vans to come pick them up. Which, by the way, I didn't even know they did stuff like that.
I actually didn't know I think they used to do stuff like that, but not anymore.
Nah. So they roll up. They do the fucking little joke that they do throughout the whole movie, where they knock over the fucking tin statue or
everybody
the
keeps hitting
statue.
this fucking bronze statue.
Yeah, which is funny, and they're picking it up and half-ass putting it back up, and then the family wakes up, and then cut to the montage of them going do 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 do,
and they're running their ass off.
Yeah, trying to like get everything together, and then like Nick said earlier, the little fucking shithead kid across the street comes over. He's a menace. They do
starts opening up their bags too.
Yeah,
to look at their shit. Like no one, and nobody's like, hey, that's not Kevin. Let's kick the neighbor kid's ass.
Pretty much. And so, basically, what ends up happening though is, like they do a head count, and they count.
Menace kid.
They count. They count the little kid, and so they think Kevin's with them. They leave. Kevin's still asleep, by the way. Doesn't hear any of these people downstairs, fucking rushing,
screaming, and rushing around like a bunch of idiots.
So they get to the airport, and they play the montage song, and they're running through the airport. They get to the plane. They get on the fucking plane. And they get, the parents all get first class, including Uncle Frank, fucking piece of shit.
Fucking terrible. Should throw him out of the plane.
And then he's like, all right, oh, this is first class, right? Like, I get champagne. Yeah, bring the champagne. So they're
and he starts stealing the silverware.
Yep. So they're sitting in first class. Kevin wakes up. He's walking downstairs. He's like, where is everybody? And then he's like, I made my family disappear. And so he just kind of goes batshit crazy. And then we cut back to the plane again. And it's like nighttime, and the mom's like, I felt like we forgot something. And he's like, no, you remember to do everything, right? Remember to close the garage, which, by the way, they left the garage door open, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
But they're like laying down, and she just leans back up and goes, Kevin! And then, like, we cut back to Kevin, and Kevin's like trying to do shit on his own. He's trying to shave,
even though, like, I still think the funniest shit is the fact that he's just destroying his colon by eating all the ice cream. Yeah. But Kevin's a little shit motherfucker, just making a mess everywhere, being a little shithead.
Yeah, like me and Nick laughed a little bit too hard when he was climbing that bookcase in Buzz's room, and then the whole thing just collapsed. I was like, imagine you come home and Kevin's dead because of that, or Kevin's dead because he decided he was going to take his toboggan out the front door. Like, yeah.
There's that little chance, if you notice when he's coming out of there, that there's like a very slim area that he can actually like get through the door, or he would hit the fucking wall at full speed. Yeah. That would have been hilarious.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Imagine getting home and you see Kevin's head in the wall.
Yep, that would be just like, it'd be like, wow,
Kevin's a fucking dead motherfucker.
Yep. And so while Kevin's like having all these moments where he's fucking up the house, releasing the spider, being scared of the furnace downstairs, being scared of the neighbor guy who's
just assaulting
the road, trying to do some shoveling, we cut to Harry and Marv, the wet bandits.
Yeah.
And they are honestly the best part of the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
And so they're going around the neighborhood trying to figure out who's gone and who's not going to be there. And me and Nick pointed this out, like, this would never work, even back then, because there's always nosy fucking neighbors in those rich neighborhoods. There's always somebody in a rich neighborhood.
There's just somebody that would be like, hey, I don't remember seeing that van here.
Yeah, because their van looks kind of creepy,
And not only that, their van is like it isn't plain van. It's got okay plumbing.
Yeah, and I can maybe understand, like, with saying plumbing on the side of it, that maybe people won't ask too many questions because, there's plumbers there. But, like, the thing is, it's a little sketchy that they're going to different houses because the plumber ain't going to that many houses.
Not in one day.
Yeah.
Not to mention, I think it was stupid of them to clog up the sinks.
Yeah, that was Marv. He's an idiot. Marv was like, oh, we got to leave our calling card. And he's like, you son of a bitch, you keep doing that. And he's like, yeah, we're the wet bandits.
But what I thought was funny is how you mentioned the fact is like he always wore fingerless gloves, so his fingerprints are everywhere.
Everywhere. Fucking fingerprints are everywhere. But
like Harry's a professional, but fucking idiot.
Yep. And so we cut back to Kevin, and Kevin is basically trying to function as an adult. Mm-hmm. He's trying to do like adult-like shit. He goes to the store. He gets scared of the fucking old guy again, runs away with the toothbrush. The fat cop chases him. That's always fun. And then we have the scene where he goes and buys groceries. The fucking cashier is asking a lot of questions. And then he's by the way, he bought a fucking assload of groceries for $20, dude.
Man, $20 used to bring you far.
Yep. And so he ends up walking home with all that shit. And then there's another time where he's walking home. He almost gets hit by the fucking van because they just robbed somebody. Mm-hmm. And he smiles at the kid and goes, "Hey, kid, watch out where you're going. You don't want to go to the morgue because
Santa Claus don't visit kiddies in the morgue."
Yep, pretty morbid. But they end up like chasing him, and Kevin runs away. And then he goes to the church, and he like hides
in the nativity scene.
And me and Nick were like, where the fuck did he get that robe? And we still have no idea where the fuck he got that robe.
I still think it's funny how they were afraid to go into the church.
Yeah, they're like, hey, like Harry's like, I'm not going in there. Marv's like, no, me neither. And then they just like leave. And so they decide to show back up at night, and Kevin literally did like what I call a Back to the Future type thing.
Yeah. And
had a bunch of shit set up where it looks like they're having a party in the house.
That was a good time, though, but I would be pissed if I was the family and my mic. Like, I would be pissed if I was Buzz. I come home, my fucking Michael Jordan standee is destroyed by Kevin, and my room is just demolished.
Yeah, and his pet spider is gone.
Yeah.
And so, one of the things in the movie that I really love, and I think Nick really likes it too, is they have a movie in the movie. It's called Angels with Filthy Souls. Not a real movie. But goddamn, is it fucking awesome. It's honestly, that is a movie that I would love to see. And throughout the whole movie, it's like a running joke because he watches it, he freaks out, and that's what leads us into the mom figuring out that Kevin's not on the plane. But Kevin uses this, Kevin uses the movie as a way to fuck with people. He fucks with the pizza guy, and then he fucks with Harry and Marv later on in the movie.
To be fair, the pizza guy deserved it the most.
Yeah, he's a fucking asshole. He's literally knocked over that statue twice.
He's also just a piece of shit kid.
Yeah, and so, later on in the movie, like when they're trying to figure out what's going on with the house, he gets them with the snakes. He's like, snakes. I don't know no snakes. And we're just like, they threw that line in there because they knew that Joe Pesci's been in a lot of mob movies.
Yeah, no. What was really ridiculous, though, is how they're outside explaining their whole plan loudly for the neighborhood to hear. Yep. Yeah, we're going to go eat a dinner, then we're going to come back at 9 o'clock, and we're going to raid the house.
Yep. And Kevin, goes to, basically runs a few errands, and then he ends up going to the cathedral, and he talks to the old man, and him and the old man finally have, a moment. It turns out the old man, shocker, is not a bad guy. Gives him some advice, and then he runs home, and he's like, I must defend this house. And he literally just makes, this elaborate plan on, some... It looks like some plans, some architecture plans or something.
Yeah, but what's the craziest part? He didn't use any of that shit. He was just like, I'm gonna tar up the stairs here. When he gets in the house, I'm gonna put a very large nail here. I'm gonna put some ornaments on the floor. I'm gonna shoot him in the face with a BB gun, dick with a BB gun. I'm gonna hit him in the face with paint cans, and then my final escape is gonna be using this here zip line. I want
to know how the fuck he set that zip line up himself, because that's pretty complicated. And then
no, he did a very good job. All he did was walk it across to the treehouse.
Yep. And then he also found a heater, and he put the heater on the. It's one of those portable heaters from back in the day that heated up, and then if you put it on a metal surface, it transferred the heat, and he did it on the doorknob.
Oh God!
And he put water on the steps to make it freeze, so they would slip and fall. Basically,
comedy.
The wet bandits show up. They get fucked up pretty bad. They go through the whole process. You guys have seen this part of the movie. Everybody knows this part of the movie. It's been talked about so many times. They literally would have died from just from the paint cans alone.
I mean, the shock your body would go through after getting shot in a testicle point blank range with a metal BB.
Yeah,
might have killed Marv.
Yep. And so what ends up happening is they get fucked up. They make it up to the top of the house. Kevin calls the cops, and he calls the cops to the house next door.
No. So he called the cops to his house. But I think the old man told them after he knocked them out with the shovel that they were in the other house.
Oh yeah, I guess that's a good point. Yeah, I think that is what happened. But basically, they end up going upstairs. The spider gets dropped on Marv's face. Poor spider. I felt sorry for that.
Yeah, the spider was traumatized for sure.
And Marv knocked it off. He hits Harry with the crowbar. Harry gets pissed off, hits him with the crowbar. Kevin's already in the other part, like already makes it to the treehouse on the zip line, and then they're trying to climb across the zip line because they don't have a way to run it, like to ride it. So they
just why didn't you listen and just go through the house?
Well, it was stupid because like Harry was like, no, that's exactly what he wants us to do. So we're gonna go across that. And I'm like, he's just gonna cut it, And then he does, cuts it. They swing down, hit that fucking brick wall. They make it over to their house, and then they actually capture Kevin there. And you think they're gonna fuck Kevin up, but then the old man shows up
with a shovel
and just fucks him up.
And then the cops come in, and I love how as they're getting arrested, fucking Marv just keeps talking.
He's like, remember, we're the wet bandits. And then Harry's like, shut the fuck up.
Just shut up.
They get arrested. Kevin goes to sleep. The mom shows up. They have their little whimsical moment. And then it turns out that her fucking selling her watch, her tickets, and all that other shit was a bunch of garbage anyway, because here comes the family like
5 seconds after. Yeah. Not even a minute.
Yep. So it was all just a waste of time, a waste of energy, and goddamn, it sucks.
She wanted to feel important. That's why she did all that.
Yep. And then Kevin looks out the window. By the way, there was a subplot where the old man didn't connect with his son.
And he did.
And the end.
Yep. Oh, and Buzz got pissed finding out that Kevin destroyed his room.
Yep. And that's the end of the movie.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So the dumb, cool, and the weird. What is the dumb about this movie? I'm going to say it. I think it's fucking stupid. Kevin could have called the cops to begin with.
Yeah.
When he knew that the fucking wet bandits were going to be there at 9 p.m. He could have had them waiting right there. That is so fucking stupid.
Yeah. No, but you know what else is really dumb?
What's that?
The family could have just made sure that, like, the kids were all accounted for. Like,
yes.
The adults.
Yes.
Like a grown-ass adult.
Yep, that's another thing. I also think it was incredibly dumb that they were announcing to the neighborhood about their plans of how they're going to rob the house. Which, by the way, like Marv is running across the lawn without the shoes on, and he's like, "I'm coming, Harry. I'm going through the window." And it's like, you're saying that so loud.
That's probably why the old man showed up. He was like,
"So what the fuck was that?"
He's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah, because
I just hear these guys screaming about things they're going to do to this house, and
Well, then that's another dumb thing. You've connected with this old man. Why don't you just tell the old man what's about to happen?
You see, Kevin's also a child. He's retarded.
He's fucking stupid.
Yeah. I mean,
dude, this whole movie would have ended if he would have just answered the door when the cops came to the door the first time.
Well, I mean, it didn't help that, like, the mother was, like, also being completely hysterical. It's like, just keep your shit brief and they'll actually listen to you.
Yeah, and so that's what's dumb about this movie. What's cool about this movie, in my opinion, is I love the set design for this movie. I love how they shot this movie, and I love the montages in the movie. That's like what's so cool about this movie. Like that montage where they're all running in the house, like in the beginning.
Yeah,
I thought that was really cool. I also like how I love how they I thought it was really cool how they balanced the times in the movie between Kevin, the family, and then the bandits. Yeah, I felt like it was really even.
No, it really was. Well, I mean, honestly, I think the coolest thing is Joe Pesci being in a kids movie.
Yeah, of course. And you don't really, you wouldn't think about that. It's like back in the day when people were like, okay, Michael Keaton's going to play Batman. People were like, what the fuck? The guy from Mr. Mom is going to play Batman? It's kind of like one of those situations. It's like Joe Pesci, the hardened mobster from fucking gangster movies, is gonna
Goodfellas is gonna come over here.
Be in this kids movie.
That doesn't make any sense. I mean, what I thought was cool is knowing that apparently he when he's doing all that muttering and everything, it was like his own little language so that he wouldn't swear on set.
Oh, that's nice. Good guy. But yes, that is what was cool about this movie. What was weird is what was weird about this movie? I think
no adult ever really questioned the fact that Kevin was just alone.
You know what else was weird about this movie?
What's that?
Milk with pizza.
Yeah, it was fucking odd, man. Fucking psychopath shit.
Yep. Really fucking weird.
You want to blow out your guts? Because that's how you do it.
Yeah, that's fucking weird. I also thought that the furnace downstairs was a little weird. How they made it like come to life. That was kind of weird. But
yeah, that was kind of dumb. Like, why was that part of the movie?
Well,
just to explain that he's got a childish imagination.
Well, I think it's supposed to show how Kevin is developed over the course of the movie. I just thought it was weird because when he first sees the furnace, it doesn't really have a voice. But then the second time you see the furnace, it talks to him, and then he's like, "Shut up!" And then the furnace is like, "Oh, okay." It just doesn't.
he's like, I'm done now.
He just shuts up. But that was Home Alone. Home Alone is a classic movie from 1990. It's a great film. I would recommend it.
Absolutely. As long as you do not watch Santa Claus versus the Martians.
Yeah, no Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. Stay away from that shit. But definitely watch Home Alone. I love Home Alone. It's great. The second one's really good too. Just stay the fuck away from the third one. It's a piece of shit. We may cover that one day, but not today.
No.
But yes, check the movie out. It's fucking great. And Nick, sign us off.
Stay sexy, motherfuckers.
And keep the change, you filthy animal. Thanks for checking out the Dumb Cool Weird podcast. We're a movie podcast now, so Movie Monday is every Monday about crappy movies from the 20th century. It's going to be great, folks. I can't wait to show y'all.